Welcome to the Fold Mysteries, where we seek to discover everything that lies between the folds of reality. So, if anybody hasn't noticed, Abe, you are currently in the field.
Uh, yeah. I drove about 2.5 to 3 hours north from where I live. I'm on the outskirts of a town that Minnesota Bigfoot Research Team has been working with for the past 10 or 11 years now. And this town is called Reamer, Minnesota. And here in Minnesota, they dub themselves, it's all actually copyrighted, the home of Bigfoot here in Minnesota. So when they first made this proclamation, back was just 10, 11 years ago now, I was like, what? I caught wind of it. I'm like, okay. Because for me, like a lot of us, the home of Bigfoot, that's out in the Pacific Northwest, And so I started getting boots on the ground around here, doing my own field research. Um, Speaking out of school and going to the Reamer Bigfoot Festival that they hold every July here in Minnesota. And just I've had people come up to me and said they've seen this, they've heard that, they've seen them here, and with my own team members in a different base camp from here, maybe about a mile or so down the road, because we got different locations. I went into the town, and when I came back, they was like, "Hey, give Bobo a call." I was like, "Why?" Because they're like, "We heard him from over that direction and also in that direction, two different Ohio halls, basically from two different directions, just moments apart from each other." Wow,
Wow.
that just gave me goosebumps. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, there's been wood knocks. We were following wood knocks, playing cat and mouse or Marco Polo. Later on that same evening, where they heard the Ohio halls and stuff. So after checking around this town and just the amount of people that come out of the woodwork because they feel comfortable
Yeah.
with us. There's Bigfoot activity around here, and that's what keeps me coming back. So yeah, I'm in the field right now. Going to be doing some research in. I got my tracking device and the silicone sleeve that I need to go to another location and get that put on our sebum collection plate. And it's windy as heck out here, so I'm in my soundproof studio right now.
Yes.
Yeah, look at I
I
got
love it.
my Bigfoot covers. My
I
sheet
love
covers.
it.
Yeah.
I
So
love it. So, Minnesota, that's just as far as the sightings markers, it's just one big blob of the whole state, then, yeah?
no, not really. There's more activity in northern Minnesota compared to southern Minnesota, but southern Minnesota also has its fair share of sounds, class B stuff, very few class A, but a lot of class B, and a lot of possible this or possible that. Um, so, but then again, there are some people that have had some class A stuff too. There's this guy that I'm talking to who's probably about 70 miles south of where I live. Um, Actually, I've known him for quite some time, to be honest with you, and he is dealing with a small family group of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that he's claiming, like clairvoyancy for one of them, ESP and mind speak and stuff like that. So, me being on the scientific side, I think I said it and I will continue to say this, but as a researcher, there's a lot of stuff that we deal with that's really, really far out there, and I've heard a lot of it going on the past 26 years. But nonetheless, the moment I close my mind up here to possibilities and probabilities, I'm not
Mhm.
conducting proper research then.
100%. Absolutely 100% agree with that. So, yeah, it sounds like a fun night ahead of you. A fun couple nights, maybe. You're going to be out there for 1 or 2 nights.
I'll be breaking camp down Monday morning, so I've got a few
Nice.
days.
Yes, I love that, dude. I love multi-night excursions. I love it so much.
Yeah, hey, speaking of, I touched on the Reamer Bigfoot Festival. You got to come.
Yeah. When is
Yeah,
that? I'm gonna write it down. When is that?
July 10th and 11th this year. It's going to be a
July
Friday and Saturday.
10, 11. Man, I'll look into my schedule because I think July was relatively open. So
I think
We'll
you
be
were
good.
saying that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think July is relatively open. So yeah, that'd be cool. I'd love to come. Um,
Yeah,
so
I'd love to have you come. That'd be great.
yeah, dude, I would love it. And it's called the help me out.
Reamer
What's
Bigfoot Festival.
Reamer Bigfoot Festival? Awesome. Yes, I would love to. I don't have really too much news. I mean, other than the fact that, and I want to say my dog's going to be weird. She's not feeling good again. So it's back to
Oh
the vet again tomorrow.
no.
Yeah, it's going to be an ongoing thing. She's 14 years old. So, um, back to the vet again tomorrow, but it's fine because, it'll be just in time to get her good before the trip. So, um, and my trip being beginning of June, I'm going to Chicago, Illinois for my graduation for my MBA. So I'm excited for that.
I'm
Next
excited
week,
for you.
next week I took off because next week is my birthday, and it'll be the first time I've ever gotten to take my birthday off. So I'm
Oh,
really excited to
go
that.
shorty. It's your birthday. We're gonna party like
Can't
it's your
wait.
birthday.
Cannot wait. So I'll just really quickly say hi. Sherry, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. JHS Turg and Hawk Soaring. So welcome to the chat and make sure you join in and ask questions as we move along. But we have a great, great guest for everyone tonight, and I'm really excited to get a chance to talk with him because he is kind of a multi-investigator like myself. So welcome, Joel Sturgis.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, hey.
I,
Good to
I got
have you.
quiet. I'm quieting the crowd down. Okay, everybody.
Oh man, first of all, congratulations on your graduating.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's awesome. Quite an accomplishment.
Oh, so glad to be done.
Master's degrees, they don't just give those things away.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm graduating with technically triple honors, but it's double honors because I earned 2 honors during my master's and then honors during my bachelor's. So
Check out the
Oh,
big brain on her.
oh my
Wow,
gosh.
man.
It's an honor to be here.
stop. Making me blush. No, I worked hard. I am just average intelligence. I just worked really, really hard. I was too stubborn to not get A's.
That's all right. You know what? Nothing wrong with being stubborn.
Oh,
You
Yeah.
got to dig your heels in, and that's just, the way it is, man. Just
Right,
the
yeah.
way it is.
Exactly. So, Joel, a little bit about you. Joel
Which
Sturgis
part?
is a veteran paranormal investigator, author, broadcaster, and explorer of unexplained with more than 30 years of experience investigating claims of hauntings, cryptids, UFO encounters, and supernatural phenomena across America. Beginning his journey in 1992, armed with little more than a camcorder, a 35mm camera, and relentless curiosity, Sturgis has spent decades walking the line between skepticism and belief, bringing a grounded, evidence-based approach to the mysteries that continue to fascinate humanity. Over the course of his career, Joel has investigated hundreds of paranormal claims, visited some of the most infamous haunted locations in the United States, and interviewed countless witnesses searching for answers to experiences they could not explain. His work blends real world field investigation with a deep respect for history, folklore, and the human stories behind every haunting. Known for his honest and approachable style, Sturgis has become a respected voice in the paranormal community for his commitment to professionalism, critical thinking, and authentic investigation. Joel is also a proud member of the Minnesota Bigfoot Research Team, MNBRT, one of the Midwest's most well known cryptid investigation groups dedicated to researching Sasquatch and unexplained wilderness encounters throughout Minnesota and beyond. Through his involvement with MNBRT, Joel has participated in field expeditions, witness interviews, and evidence collection efforts focused on uncovering the truth behind Bigfoot reports and other unexplained phenomena deep within the North Woods. He is the author of several paranormal books, including The Ultimate Paranormal Investigator's Field Guide, a comprehensive manual for evidence based ghost hunting, The Ultimate Midwest Haunted Places Road Trip Guide, and the American Cryptid Hunter's Field Guide, True Encounters, Locations, and Evidence of America's Most Elusive Creatures. His writing combines decades of firsthand experience with practical investigative techniques, compelling storytelling, and a passion for exploring the unknown. In addition to his publishing work, Joel has a substantial following through his extensive radio and media career. As the longtime host of internationally known paranormal radio program and podcast After Hours AM, he interviewed some of the biggest names in the paranormal, horror, cryptozoology, and unexplained phenomena fields, while reaching millions of listeners worldwide. His engaging interview style and deep knowledge of paranormal history helped establish him as one of the most recognized voice in paranormal broadcasting. Joel has also appeared on television and various media platforms discussing ghosts, hauntings, Bigfoot, UFOs, cryptids, and paranormal investigation techniques. Whether investigating haunted locations deep in the Midwest, researching cryptid sightings in remote forests, or helping families understand unexplained experiences in their homes, Joel Sturgis continues to pursue one central question: what truths still exist beyond the limits of conventional understanding? Today, Joel remains dedicated to investigating the strange, documenting the unexplained, and inspiring a new generation of paranormal researchers through his books, media appearances, public speaking, and decades-long commitment to exploring the mysteries that refuse to stay buried. That is amazing.
Show is over, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, that was 2 hours.
Had I known you were going to read the whole thing, I would have had my agent that wrote that. Thank you, by the way, Patricia. I would have had her shorten it up a little bit, just saying, hey, Joel's kind of a cool dude. And
that was
right
amazing. That was amazing. I mean, there's so much in that, and you've done so much. How do you shorten it? Like, you've done so much. Taking out all the thes and theys and its and a's.
but there's still more to uncover. That's the thing, I mean, that's the beauty and the curse all at the same time, right?
Yes, exactly.
There's still more. Just when you think of the answers, the questions change.
Exactly.
So yeah. How do you guys want to kick this off? With a ghost story or a Bigfoot story? I got them all. It's all happened to me weird.
I was going to ask you because there's something we don't actually cover here very often, and that's UFO research. So I'm very curious to kind of dig into the whole UFO research that you have done.
Okay. So now that is a large field study right there of UFOs. And as you know, the government has been declassifying a little bit of breadcrumbs, throughout the last couple of years. We're no closer to disclosure, of course, but we have a few more answers than we did yesterday. But the thing of it is UFOs they scare the hell out of me, to be honest. As a researcher, it's not so much the UFO sightings, like the people seeing it in the sky, but it's the people that are grabbed out of their beds at night. Those are the ones that get me the most when I have to talk to those folks.
Yeah.
And, because it's one thing to see like lights in the sky and be like, wow, I just thought I saw a UFO, to a family coming to you saying, we are all abducted. We all lost 6 hours of our life. What is wrong with us? But it keeps happening. And we have video evidence. What do you do with that? How do you use their mind? You can't really, intervene in a lot of ways.
Right. I mean, how do you research something like that? Because that's not like it's a continuous, repeated phenomena. It's something that they experience maybe 1 or 2 times in their life that you can't really research the phenomena in action. So what do? You just kind of test the area, you go walk around and you talk to witnesses.
That's all you can really do, and take a lot of what they're telling you with a skeptical eye, of course, because you got to be a skeptic and a believer. You got to walk that line, right? Because if you drink the Kool-Aid too hard, you're gonna go to the other one side of the other.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to walk right down that middle, because people have a tendency, God bless them, to exaggerate too. So, you know, it might have not have been as bad as they remember. It might be embellished upon,
Mm.
you know, or it might be this, or it might be that. So, you know, as cool as evidence, as cool evidence as it is that people will bring you their stories, extraordinary claims still require extraordinary evidence,
Hmm.
no matter how, you know, sympathetic I am to them.
Yes, absolutely. I 100% agree with you. So, personally, have you ever witnessed missing time or seen a UFO yourself?
Oh yeah, I saw UFO one time, a couple times, but Abe, Abe, is it cool if I tell the story?
Oh,
Yeah, no, I
Come
want to hear it.
on.
Yeah.
So me and Abe,
Yeah.
right, and Mike
We seen
Hexum,
something. We seen
right?
something.
We did, man. It was the craziest damn thing. Here we go. It was me, Pops, Abe, one other team member at the time. We're out in the woods and we're looking for Bigfoot. You know, we're in incredible Bigfoot area, and we're really enjoying ourselves. And we're talking, and we all look up pretty much at the same time and see this light, right? And it's doing weird things, like weird acrobats in the sky, like figure eights, going a million miles an hour, then coming to a dead stop. And then I get the bright idea because I remember reading years ago, and you know what? I feel dumb for this because what if it would have happened? The Travis Walton story where they took the flashlight. Yes, that's exactly what we did. And it beaconed back at us the exact pattern. And I'm thinking,
Whoa.
oh boy. Oh boy. And then we left. We got creeped out, right? So we go out. Yeah, hey, that's just what happened. All right. Abe's gonna say, not me. I was a big tough guy the whole time.
I
So
wanted
we
to
all
stay
crammed.
there.
So yeah. Why were you the first one in the vehicle? I don't know why, if you wanted to stay so bad. So anyhow, we get in and we have a raggy moment. So we all jump in our vehicle, we take off down the road. I'd say about 10 miles, thinking we should be safe here. We get out, we look up, son of a gun, there it is. There's the light. It's like, all right. It was strange. It was very strange.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It was definitely wild.
It was a great time.
It was a good time. I'd do it all over again. Believe me.
Did you guys
it was
stay
fun.
there for the rest of the night?
Did we stay after the? No, I think we did a little bit more, but we were all pretty much fixated on what that light was doing more than we were at that point researching.
Yeah,
because of what that light was doing. It was really a strange moment.
Wow.
I'm wondering, Joel, was this the time we were on the res, or we went to go check out the DNR report?
No, we were on the reservation.
Okay.
Up north. And then, and that was the coolest and strangest time. Fun too, but
that's wild.
Yeah,
that's wild. I want to break in real fast. This chat is killing me, guys. You are awesome. We got an awesome chat tonight. You brought in some great people, Joel, and we have our normals, and they're just being so nice, and it's just a great chat. So I just wanted to point that out.
Man, I love them all. I mean, everybody is so cool in the community. I've met some of the awesomest people ever. You know, Abe and I and the group, we do an event every year at Minnesota Bigfoot Conference, and I get to do the town hall. I'm emceeing it. And it's so awesome how much people open up to us, right? We've heard it all at this point, Abe, haven't we? I mean,
oh my gosh, yeah. For the past 26 years, just field research too, yeah.
You know, so we do this town hall, and I don't know if I have this endearing quality about me or something, but they open up with their deepest, darkest. Like, there I was with my girlfriend, and Bigfoot, he showed up. And that actually happened. Remember?
True story. True story.
True story.
Bigfoot was watching these people making out.
Getting it on. Yeah, they're making on. He says, I saw Bigfoot, and he looked awfully excited.
Well, how can you tell?
you know? Yeah, you know what? It's a rated PG show, so we're not going to say what he said, but let's just say there were signs that Bigfoot was enjoying it.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious! That's hilarious.
I recorded that guy, man. I had to record that.
You know, we have to do like a YouTube thing with that or something with the town hall meetings.
NBC page or something like that. Yeah,
something just those stories, maybe just audio form, so you know their faces aren't shown because some of them are pretty out there. But we've also had people that get up to tell their story that break into tears. You know, like you just feel that this is the first time they've told anybody this,
Yeah.
you know, and the emotions just come pouring out of them on the flip side. So it's kind of a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
You talked about emceeing that. This is you and Gwendolyn are going to be emceeing the conference once it starts this year. So this is
very cool.
This is the other MC that I was telling you about.
I will have a tough act to follow. Let me tell you.
Oh, stop! Oh my God! See, no, I'm nervous to follow you. You've got so much practice, and you're a great speaker. So, yeah, it'll be.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, it'll be a great time.
Oh yeah, so, be a good time.
You've seen one UFO. You've been in the paranormal field for what, 30 plus years.
Yep.
So tell us about some of your paranormal stuff.
Let's see. I talked to a dead guy for about 15 minutes. Right. Abe, I don't know if I told you the radio station story, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was I just graduated college with my broadcast degree. Right. And I got a job down south, like I'm talking way down south, like I mean Texas area, right? And I'm not a country music guy. I just am not. But that is where I got a job, was a country music radio station. And I was willing to take anything at that point just to get some microphone time, because to move on, you have a highlight reel. And the only way you get a highlight reel to get another job is to actually go do it. So here I am working this country music radio station. I'm working nights, the overnights, the graveyard shift, right? And every Sunday morning after me, this guy named Roy McDonald, they haven't called him Cowboy Roy, would have a show, you know, during the morning called On the Trail with Cowboy Roy. Now, Cowboy was a real cowboy, like legit, used to drive cattle from Kansas down to Texas, like the real McCoy, right? And so, but his thing was he loved to go on the radio and play like the old, you know, like Hank Williams and stuff like that. And, you know, that kind of really old country music. But I got to know him really well. We became friends. He was in his mid 80s, but he was such a wealth of knowledge and just fun to talk to. And he always had these one-liners, you know, those cowboy one-liners, you know, you know, it was like a morning, like any other morning. Right. So I'm doing my thing and I look at the watch. I'm like, all right, Roy's gonna be coming up. And our studio is on the second floor. It's a 2-story building. Downstairs is where the advertising was. Upstairs is where our broadcast studios were. So you had to go up this really dark hallway to come up to our studios. And so I always did a long set for him before he actually took the microphone, like a 20-minute set. I'd do a commercial free 20 minutes. Hey, coming at you right now is 20 more minutes of great country music. Before long, Cowboy Roy will be with you. Get those spurs ready. He's ready to go in a minute. So then I'd put that on, and of course, and I'd go talk to Cowboy. And he was a big Texas Ranger fan, the baseball team, right? And he was always, you know, this happened to be during baseball season. And they were winning, and he was all excited, and we were talking, and he's drinking his coffee, the styrofoam cup. Am I right? I said, all right, man, you know what? I got you all ready to go in the studio. I got you all your set already. So when you get in there, you don't even really have to touch anything. Just talk when it's time. He says, all right, partner, I got it. And he says, I got to hit the trail. So he goes into the studio, closes the door, sits down, does his thing. I grab my jacket. I go downstairs. I go down that long hallway with the steps. And when I got in the sales floor, my manager at the time, general manager, his name was Dennis. I like Dennis, but he was about the laziest dude you ever meet in your life, right? So for him to be there on a Sunday morning, right, of all times, took an act of God. So I walked down there and, Dennis, what are you doing here, man? He goes, I'm here to cover a shift. I'm like, well, you got another, 2 hours because Roy's got his thing to do. You didn't have to show up so early. He says, oh, I don't know if anyone told you this or not, but Roy died last night. What? Yeah, Roy's wife, widow, called me and informed me that, he had a stroke in the night and he passed away.
Oh my God.
No, yeah, and I'm like, no, you are so full of crap, man. He's upstairs. I could prove this to you. So we go upstairs. I'm, marching up there like, I'm going to show you. You don't be trying to mess with me. We get up there. Roy's gone. No one in studio at all. Like, gone. Right. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. I know it was real because the styrofoam cup he was drinking out was on the table.
Ah,
I mean,
Oh,
it was there, and I'm like,
God.
oh no, freaking way, man. Why?
no
So,
way.
so I'm like just white, pardon the expression, white as a ghost.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around, and I look at him, and he goes, "You've been working a lot of night shifts. You might want to go home, get some sleep, maybe take tomorrow off." I was so, and then what was even almost worse though was afterwards going, "Roy, don't you show up, man. You do not show up here. I do not come up here." If he would have shown up after I knew he was dead, I don't know what I would have done.
That's
Oh my God.
wild.
I mean, I might have said, "Why don't you sit your translucent butt down?" I was like, I got some questions for you.
Yeah.
But, chances are I would have peed a little and ran away.
Oh my God, that's so wild. That's so wild. It begs the question, was he physically there for you
Oh
to
yeah,
view?
he was as solid as anyone.
Or maybe do ghosts have the ability to manipulate the mind to get them to experience what they want?
Or did he not know he was dead and he's going about his routine?
Yeah. Wow. That's wild. That's wild. Abe's brain is hurting.
I mean, did you touch him? Did you touch him at all? Did you hug him? I mean, did you shake his hand?
We didn't have that kind of relationship. I wasn't like, "Come here, Roy, I got a big old hug for you." I wasn't excited as the Bigfoot was.
Did he finish his coffee?
Yeah, he was drinking coffee, and we're drinking coffee together.
What kind of coffee was that?
Just normal black coffee.
Only Abe would be more interested in the kind of coffee the ghost was drinking.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I mean, because oh my gosh, wow. How does that even happen?
I don't know. I don't know. And then of course afterwards, after that all happened, nothing. Right? I mean, it was just didn't see him again. But part of me wanted to see him. Another part of me didn't want to see him.
Yeah.
It had happened again. Knowing what I knew after that, I often asked myself, how would I have reacted?
Right. Yeah.
Would I have asked questions? What's it like to be dead? Or would I just been dumbfounded?
Interesting. So this wasn't what led you into paranormal research, is it? Or was it something else?
I was a skeptical believer before, to be honest. I did a lot of dabbling like everyone did. Of course, I had some belief, but it wasn't like deep or anything. That really kind of kicked it off for me to really dig. Like, okay, how'd that happen? Because I inherently have I got to know how things work. That's kind of mine to have.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like I got to find out how this all works, because obviously there's something more, because I witnessed it for myself.
Yeah, that's wild. What do you think, Abe? How would you react? I'm kind of curious.
I don't know. I don't know. That's all I got. I don't know what the heck I would do. I mean,
I can't get Abe to go.
My mind's just blown. I'd rather deal with.
I have invited Abe to go on an investigation with me, paranormal wise, 1,000 times, and he's always politely declined, to go, and that's all right. It's not for everybody.
That's wild.
He might depends.
Abe, the elusive one, the one that goes out and hunts big hairy creatures that could murder him in 2 seconds, versus not wanting to go out and research something that could walk right through him.
But the thing is, if it can materialize into somebody for 15 minutes that's passed, who knows what the capability is of that?
You're
Joel,
not
you said
wrong.
yourself, you've had one follow you back home. He's had
Oh,
something
that's happened
very,
several
very,
times.
oh my gosh.
That's
And I
happened
don't want nothing to
several
follow me
times.
back home.
I had
Maybe
one
I wanted to
follow.
deal with something
Well,
physical.
I have had ones follow. I got to be honest. There's something out there, and you might have heard this called paranormal hygiene, right? Where you kind of take care of yourself so nothing follows you home. You're very vigilant. Hey, you need to stay here. A lot of people will sage themselves or what have you. Whatever you do, you, right? I did none of that. I was like, I don't care. I'm here. You're here. Let's talk. And I would go home and not think twice about it. And then my kids are like, Dad, the man was in my room again.
Wow.
Or my wife woke up and saw 3 of them staring at her. Yeah, and she's like, you got to stop this. Something's got to give. You're bringing things back with you. And that's legit, guys. I mean, you got to be careful. I mean, I cover that in my books, right? So now I do. Before I would have been like, hey man, you go do you. If you want to go and run around and do stuff, go ahead, you do it. But I've come to learn over the years that you got to protect yourself a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's wild because I have been to so many paranormal locations, and I don't know why, but I just don't do that. I don't sage myself. I don't. When I leave, I tell them you have to stay, and I'm gonna go, and at some point I hope to be back to see you again. That's about all I do. And I have had many things follow me home, but it seems like over the years of multiple things following me home, it's like a rubber band effect, is what I call it.
Mm-hmm.
So they come and they're there 2 months maximum, usually around 2 weeks or less. And it's like they get this rubber band, and they can only stay for so long before they get shot back to where they came from. I've never had nothing stick. So, but depending on where you're going, it'd probably be a good idea to be a little protective.
Well, now I've seen people possessed.
I have too.
I've been in exorcisms. I've sat in on a couple of them over the years. I had some really good friends that were clergymen that would tell me, though, every time what you see here, what happens here stays here. But I did see it. I mean, it's legit. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen people possess, and the most gentle person became just this raving beast. I've seen it several times, like 3 times. But as far as like demons, it's weird because I don't think there are as many demons out there as people might believe. I think it's misidentification.
That's it. And you hit the nail on the head. There is the big D word out there is for the glitz and the glam and the clicks, right? The actually running into a straight from hell demon, you might as well go pick up a Powerball ticket, because basically you got about the same odds, in my opinion, to run into one, right? So
yeah.
Now there is a such thing as inviting it into your life.
Mm-hmm.
So now if you go out there and you invite it, you actively invite that into your life, that is a whole different ballgame. Because, what you put in the universe, you do get back.
100%.
So if you're practicing the dark arts, if you're doing this, you're doing that, what do you think is going to happen? You kind of called it down on yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you there. And the demonic activity is not so in your face like they do in movies. Would you agree with that?
It's slow. It's very slow. It's a beat down of the person.
Yes, mental beat down typically.
It is a long, laborious process, and it doesn't. Now the thing of it is, though, is you may challenge, as long as you're on the subject matter of demons, you may challenge a demon, right? And go, come on, fight me. It might not happen today. It's got nothing to time. It may wait till you're weakest.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, they're nothing to tangle with. I definitely would never recommend. I've dealt with them in my own home, and that was the hardest thing I've ever had in my life that I struggled to get rid of out of my home. It was awful, and my kids suffered from it and everything. So, definitely would
So
not
you
recommend.
you were under the oppression.
Yeah, well, the whole family was. The house rather was under oppression. Yeah.
So you had
And
to hit infestation yet.
yeah, no. I mean, it was pretty bad. I mean, yeah, it got pretty bad. But the kids, the poor kids, I feel so bad for them. But it wasn't anything I invited in. It kind of just came with the house.
So you're telling me that you bought a house and a demon was already there?
Well, I actually it was owned for a while. So maybe I did invite it in on accident. So it was owned for a while, and when I was 17, I got into a little bit of dark stuff and did a ritual, and this weird sort of thing happened where I lost consciousness and I woke up screaming, and my mom came run upstairs, and I refused to go up to my room after that.
Well,
And
that's not creepy at all.
yeah, and so years later, I moved out when I was 18, had my family, and then my dad had passed away. My stepdad, rather, passed away. My mom didn't want to live in the house anymore with him not there. I moved back, and it was still there.
Now, when you say it was still there, did you see it? Did you sense it? How did it communicate with you?
It was just it was oppression. Like, the whole house would rumble, the whole entire house. And it would throw books across the room. It would there would be just this infestation of flies for a brief period of time, and then it would just be gone.
Mhm.
I mean, just numerous things. Chairs would fly off underneath the table. It was just this mental breakdown.
Wait a minute,
And
wait a minute. You'd be eating dinner and a chair would just randomly fly across the room.
no, I would walk.
Oh,
So the way that the kitchen was built, that you had to get past the table. All the chairs
okay.
always had to be pressed in because the kitchen was too small for where the table was, and all the chairs was always pressed in. And I would go to the microwave. I'd go to open it, get my food out, and as soon as I turn around, I'm tripping over a chair that was pulled out. Only one time did we ever witness it moving on its own. And I had a friend there. We were playing cards and we were sitting at the kitchen table and the chair just like flew out. And we both watched it. And she was like, no, no. You hear voices. Mirrors would just break out of nowhere.
How
Just
old did you say you were at this time?
at this point,
Yeah.
well, just years worth, but 17 is when it all started.
Okay.
And then finally moved out when my son was 2. My youngest was 2. So I was probably about 29.
Wow. Wow. That was a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot
You
all the
know, I
time.
wonder how much of that was a PK event.
You know, honestly thought that myself. And for anybody who's not familiar, a PK event is basically where the person is creating the phenomena. Am I correct with that?
Yeah.
Joel?
Yeah, you are.
Um,
Yeah. And usually it's people that are in mass stress.
mhm,
You know what I mean? It's a lot of times it's teenagers, younger folk that, you know what I mean, they a lot of turmoil going on in their
mhm.
life or just their minds. I've actually worked a couple cases that were PK events.
Yeah.
And it was one of them. Yeah. Well, anyhow, I won't go into that too deep, but it's real. I've actually dealt with it, and
Yeah.
people have stronger minds than they realize. You know,
Oh,
they
yeah.
have abilities far beyond what they know they have.
Oh, yeah. 100%. But a lot of people have surmised that. But I wonder it myself because I've never got away from the phenomena. It's always been in every house I've ever been in.
So
So
even today,
even today, yeah.
now I wonder if you don't have a thought for them though.
You know, I do so much research on tulpas, so it's really cool that you brought that up. So I have experimented with thought forms and even tried to create them myself, which was successful. Terrifying, by the way. Um, But yeah, I've honestly thought that myself, but the phenomena is very much the same over the years. It's always the same sort of
Well, the
phenomena.
reason why I bring it up is because thought forms are say they'll do that as well. Like look at the Philip experiment, for instance.
Hmm.
Which is a great case study beyond the movie. There's a trashy movie out there about it. But if you actually look at the case study, we have that ability to manifest our own ghosts, right? I did that at a building. I manifested. I gave it a backstory. I told everyone who he was, and of course, over EVP, they had EVP of him talking to him. So you can make your own ghost. Your mind has that ability to imprint on that environment.
Hmm.
Now, because it's did you smell like sulfur, or did you have anything going on that would lead into that demonic?
Hmm. Yeah, honestly, there would be like this rotten egg smell periodically. It was very demonic. I mean, just the constant attacking of my mental status, and it really targeted me mostly. Every now and again, the people around me would witness it, but it was like it was like only me, and it kind of made me feel a little crazy because I'm like nobody else has experienced this. It was a very mental attack on me, individually.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was very demonic like, and it was these little slow things, and then it would just do this burst of craziness, and it would get me at my most vulnerable moments when I was alone, when I could be more fearful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's man. It's still going on today, though.
Yeah, nothing like it was,
That's
which
yeah.
leads me to believe it is potentially a thought form or a tulpa, because there it's something that's never existed, never lived, doesn't know emotion and fear and the reactions of their behavior. And I'm giving it like almost a personality, but it's really not. And that's the problem. And that's why they get out of hand. And
Are
then
there times?
things.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but are there times a year that's worse than others?
No, no, it's just sporadic. You can feel kind of the atmosphere around the home starting to build. And then
Mhm.
there's just this outburst of activity, and then it'll go away for 2 weeks, 2 months, and comes back.
Well, the
But
reason why I brought that up is I worked a case, and it was the closer it got to an anniversary of a traumatic event, the activity got worse until the anniversary, and then it was almost like a discharge, right?
mhm,
And then it reset itself, and it would ramp up till the anniversary.
yeah,
And it was all them creating this because it was such a traumatic moment that they did not want to deal with.
yeah,
And so yeah.
it's just random. It happens anywhere from 15 to 30 times a year, and it doesn't matter what time of the year it is. I have noticed that it tends to coincide with um, chaos, and chaos breeds activity a lot of times. And it tends to coincide with chaos that happens in my life. So it
So,
could be,
so
it could be
yeah,
PK.
which stands to reason, because a lot of times these thought forms are chaos agents. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, and they because you feed it, because you're the one. If it is a thought form, you're the one feeding it, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a lot more chaos in your life and you have a lot more anxiety going on, anxiety is a giant feeder of thought forms. If you have
Yes.
anxiety, oh my God, it's like, supercharging it, right? So that if you find yourself more and more anxiety and then the activity happens more and more, they're one and the same, but demonic now, it's never ever, made itself known to you, has
Yeah.
it?
Um, yes, but not since I moved out of the house. That what happened in the house is totally different than what happens now. That
Okay.
house,
Okay.
yeah, it's totally different. Completely, there's like a very clean line of the type of activity I experience now versus then. So, and yeah, it was massive dark shadows that would loom over me. It was voices, very aggressive, growly voices.
Did you ever see the Hat Man?
Okay, so I have, but not the same way others have described it. Mine looked more like a hamburger.
Yeah. Okay. So shadow people. Abe,
Yeah.
you're gonna love this one. You know what shadow people are, right, Abe?
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
obviously you know what they are.
I
I
just
think
turn
we've
on the
talked
light.
about them. Yeah. So the Hat Man, though, is supposed to be the big bad of the shadow people entity, if you believe that. Now, I've seen a lot of shadow people investigations. I've even seen a shadow dog, a shadow cat, saw a shadow cat or a mouse scurrying along the baseboards. So I think what it is, my own personal feeling on shadow people is I believe that it is ghosts that lack the ability to manifest fully.
I 100% agree. Yeah.
And the Hat Man thing is way overblown, in my opinion. And I know I'm gonna catch some guff for it because everyone goes, "It must have been the Hat Man." No, it wasn't the Hat Man. You know, it's the Hat Man did it. No, the Hat Man did not do it.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'll sit back and let you guys interview me.
So, I mean, have you ever seen the Hat Man?
Yes, I did.
Tell us about it.
Well, it's so weird because when I saw the Hat Man, where was I? I'm trying to remember which prison I was in. Was I in Trans Allegheny? I can't remember. Anyhow, no, I think I was in Mansfield. I was in Mansfield Reformatory, and I saw the Hat Man, right? So I'm walking around, and you know what? Most people see the Hat Man out of the corner of their eye. And the reason for that is because we cannot see very well out of the corner of our eye. And I believe there's a scientific reason for this. A lot of these shadow people, because what it is our mind tries to make sense out of everything, right? We've tried to find patterns in everything, even if it's out of the corner of your eye. So I kind of believe that the Hat Man is more our mind trying to figure out things in our peripheral vision.
Mm-hmm.
So I see the Hat Man, and it was like 8 feet tall, had the fedora, the whole bit, right? And I'd only see it out of the corner of my eye. So finally I stopped and I said, "Hey, here's the deal. I know you're here. You know you're here. Why don't you come step in front of me so I could see you dead on? Unless, you're too much of a coward." And I have this on EVP and it says, "F you."
Whoa.
Just like that. Like it didn't want to play. And it was very violent. It was a very violent entity that actually pushed me back against the wall.
Wow.
And it hit hard. It hit like a freight train. Now, I did something I should not have done. I provoked. That is, in my opinion, there's a time and place for everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even provoking. Right?
Yes, I agree.
But I think you got to pick your battle when you do it.
Yeah.
And maybe sitting there in the prison with a pissed off spirit might not have been the greatest time to try it out. Like, hey, I got a great new thing to try. Let's provoke. It wasn't, and it ended up pushing me against the wall so hard I lost breath. It knocked the wind out.
Wow. Oh my God.
And then in EVP it says, "I bet you won't do that again."
No way. That's so cool. Oh man, I wish you would have brought those tonight. We would love to play those.
So yeah, have me back on. I'll bring the EVPs.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's you catch that kind of stuff, but it gave me a whole new respect though at the same time. Mm-hmm. That these things actually can assault you.
Yes.
They can hit you. They can get nasty with you. They can go right through your body. I've had it where they've gone through my body. And it's been really a wild ride, let me tell you.
Yeah, and I find it interesting when you spoke earlier. You said, you kind of get what you asked for, and you provoked it, so you got a provoked response.
Yes, I definitely did. I definitely did, and that's on me. And I was by myself. I go to all these places by myself usually. I'll be in these places all by myself. I was in Alcatraz by myself.
Yeah.
I was in all these different places all by myself. And everybody, don't get me wrong. And I say this in my books, go with people. Not because of the ghosts, if anything, but if you fall and hurt
It's
yourself,
a safety thing. A lot of these
it's a
places are
safety
dilapidated.
thing. Don't be me. Don't traipse around thinking I'm big bad guy and I can go wherever I want by myself.
Right.
Definitely be safe. I've become a better investigator.
Yeah.
Instead of me, this macho guy going, screw them.
Right. So Hawk Soaring had a good question for a lot of people who jump in here. They might not know who the Hat Man is. So
go. Do you want to do it or shall I?
No, go for it. Go for it.
Okay. The Hat Man is there's a hierarchy of shadow people, allegedly. And the Hat Man is, if you had a mountain of shadow people. Now, shadow people, there's a lot of debate over what they are. I have my own belief. Other people have their own beliefs, and they're cool with that, right? I'm cool with that, whatever. But the Hat Man is supposed to sit at the top of the mountain. He's supposed to be the big bad of the shadow world, or the shadow person world. And basically, when you see, a lot of people will say they saw the Hat Man before something terrible's happened. For instance, he can also be a harbinger of bad, right? So some people say they saw the Hat Man before grandma died, or they saw the Hat Man before they got in a car wreck, or stuff like that. He could be a harbinger of doom as well. But just to answer the question again, he is basically the leader, I guess, quote unquote leader of the shadow people.
Right. All speculation. I think a lot of that speculation and the idea that he's the big bad one has to do with maybe the fear that's instilled.
I think there's a lot of fiction involved as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
I know because I wrote a couple fiction books. Actually, one's being published. But anyhow, my publisher, by the way, is Foundations is my publisher, and they're publishing all 4 of my books. So, and they will be out here shortly. Just ink the deal for that to get done. And
Congratulations.
then I talked to Netflix. They are interested in making some of what we're doing into a special and stuff like that. So so you'll be seeing a lot more of that stuff as it comes out. But getting back to the paranormal, or do you guys want to move on to another field of research? What do you guys want to do? You guys want to talk about cryptids? I love cryptids.
Well, I mean, I feel like Abe would like to cover that portion because, I mean, I got so sucked into the paranormal part. I'll let you kind of take over for that Bigfoot portion.
No, go right ahead. I mean, I know all about the Bigfoot stuff in Joel, but this is for you, a chance for you to pick his awesome brain, and I'm protected. So go right ahead.
I love it. I love it. So you obviously got involved in the Bigfoot field, but how long ago did that happen for you?
Let's see. I've been part of the MNBRT for about 10 years. The reason why I joined was not only because Abe is so cool and, love you, baby. And, no, Abe is, no, seriously, I saw Bigfoot. And so that's, and I wasn't really a big believer in Bigfoot until I saw Bigfoot. And that happens to a lot of people, like, I was kind of agnostic to Bigfoot. Like, it might be there, it might not be there. I don't know. And I used to be a hunting guide in the Superior National Forest here in Minnesota. And I was at the Whiteface Reservoir, where they actually, oddly enough, the Minnesota Iceman was killed. And I was in this area, minding my own business, and a Bigfoot decided to come into my camp and look at me. And I looked at him, and it was like, there were 2 things that went through my head. Holy crap, you're real. And number 2, if you kill me, my obituary is really be weird.
That's awesome.
Man killed by Bigfoot.
So what did you see? Like, what color? How close was
he was more of a blonde. Bigfoot, because a lot of people talk about big, dark Bigfoot, but a lot of the reports are in this area are more of a blondish color. I don't know. We've kind of heard all of it, though. We've heard
there's no reason, blonde hair and blue eyes.
We've that's right, man. That's right. They're the Viking Bigfoots. They like their lutefisk and their big ladies. Mm-hmm. But anyhow, mine was more of a blonde. Smelled like you wouldn't believe. I didn't I didn't know what I was looking at first, to be honest. But I do remember its eyes being very human
Hmm.
and a lot of thought behind those eyes.
That's
It wasn't
interesting.
like a cold predator or an animal. It was thinking, it was sizing me up. Like, you know, it was definitely a thinking animal. And I don't know what you really call them animals. They're just, I mean, they could be more human than animal. You know, no one really knows 100%, but it was there. It was real and it was scary.
Wow. Wow. How close was it to you?
About 15 feet away.
Oh, that's pretty close.
Like it could have reached out and killed me if it wanted to.
Right.
Like, Joe,
You know,
give them the circumstances of how this took place. I
well,
mean, were you having a
I was,
bonfire?
yeah, I was sitting next to my fire. I was hunting, and it was coming to the end of the day, and it was actually I was cleaning my rifle. I had a rifle in my hand, high powered rifle, and I was just sitting there, and I started smelling something terrible smell. I mean, everybody talks about Bigfoot smelling. Yeah, there's definitely a funk to a Bigfoot. This smelled like garbage, dog, wet dog. It smelled like everything you could think of. And I thought, because there was a fish cleaning station maybe 200 yards away from me, and I thought maybe that's what was smelling because, I was trying to use my logical brain. What's the smell? Why am I smelling it? So that went on for quite a while. That had to have gone on for 15 minutes before I actually saw the Bigfoot. But it came up so silently, the Bigfoot, like so silent. You would think something that massive would just go sound like a truck going through the woods. It was so stealthy and so quiet. It came up on me, and I didn't even know it was there until I looked up.
Mm.
And and I had a rifle in my hand. I mean, you would have thought I should have shot the Bigfoot. Well, a lot of people say, why didn't you shoot him? I was not in a position. There was no way, if my gun would have been loaded, there's no way I could have gotten that rifle up in time, being that close and gotten a shot off. It would have killed me. It would have killed me. And I got the real feeling that, you be cool with me, I'll be cool with you kind of thing. Like I'm checking you out as much as you're checking me out.
Right.
But I'm telling you what, I'm a pansy, man. I went in my truck, locked the doors, waited the morning, man. I was having nothing of it. I'm being honest. I am being honest. I didn't go, well, I'm going to go hunt this Bigfoot now, my rifle. I'm like, you know what? I'm freaking going in my truck and I'm going to cry a little bit and I'm going to wait till daylight. And that's really what happened. And I remember the anxiety I had before it showed up, though. That was something that I had a lot of anxiety. Like I shouldn't be here. I'm scared. I didn't know why. I'd hunted these woods my whole life. And it's to this day, it's the weirdest thing. So anyhow, for a long time, I didn't tell anyone. Although as a paranormal investigator, I run around talking about ghosts all day. I was like, no one's going to want to believe me about Bigfoot. No way is anyone going to believe this story. I met Abe. This is a decade already. And that's a whole nother story unto itself. But that's for another day, as they say. I met Abe and I said, Abe, this is what I saw. He didn't judge me. He said, hey, that's more common than you think. And that's really how our friendship started. And we've been brothers ever since.
That's awesome.
True story.
Yeah.
True story. And I never get tired of hearing Joe relay the story, and it's like I've heard a lot of, and for people who are researching, they're like, oh, well, what time of night did this happen? And was a fire in between you guys? How do you know it was blonde? How do you, how was the sex? Well, what was the sex of the creature? Did you smell anything or anything like that? And what did it do? How did it go? Did it walk and turn around or disappear? And that might be a great question. How did it leave?
How it left was it backed up. As silently as it showed up, it never took its eyes off of me. It backed up, is what it did.
It didn't like,
and it was
100% or turn invisible.
No, backed up as silently as it came in. It was gone. I can't speak to any cloaking device it had.
Mm-hmm.
I can't any of that because I don't believe that that's not what happened.
Mhm.
It wasn't all this dramatic. It attacked me. It wasn't all that. I mean, really, a lot of people kind of go, well, that's not a very dramatic sighting. It was for me. It
Oh
was
yeah,
freaky for me because
right.
Yeah.
I didn't believe, well, that Bigfoot could have killed you. Yes, it could have killed me, because they want to hear about the Bigfoot attacking. Well,
Mm.
I mean, I'm sure Bigfoot does attack, but those people aren't here to tell the story because Bigfoot did attack.
Mm.
But I'm telling you, in my opinion, I don't think Bigfoot has any interest in truly attacking us. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like, like, hey, you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. I do believe Bigfoot knows intention. It knows
Yes.
the intention of the people that are in the woods. And anyone that doesn't, that you could be stealthy as you want all day, but as a hunter, I could tell you, the second you enter those woods, it knows you're there. All the animals do. The squirrels start chattering, the birds start flying. Those are all the forest or early warning systems. And so it knows you're there pretty damn fast, to be honest. Now it chooses to show itself. I believe it chooses to show itself to us because obviously it does, because if it doesn't want to be seen, it's not seen.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
But mine was a male, 100% male, like 100%. Like, I am a guy. I would probably say it was probably not an adolescent, but younger Bigfoot, full of testosterone and bravado. Because I started thinking back, because the older Bigfoot now, they use more caution when approaching people. They're not like, here I am, look at me. Some of the young ones are, though. It's like they got that bravado going, of wanting to prove who they are.
Right.
So that's all I got. It wasn't anything dramatic, but it was for me. And I remember having those brown eyes. It had a damn near human face, had a very wide ridge of the brow. It was a thinking animal. It was processing what was going on in real time right along with me. When it left, it backed up as silently as it came in. I never heard it in the woods leave. I listened like you wouldn't believe, and the whole thing was over, I would say, probably in 30 seconds.
Okay.
It wasn't that long of but it felt like an eternity for me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's long enough.
Did it ever come back? No, it never came back. I never saw it again. Saw it the one time, and I've been in those woods since. For a long time, I didn't go hunting, and for a long time, I stayed out of those woods because I knew what was in those woods. But then, the more I kind of understood through research, talked to Abe, the more, it's just part of nature. They're as much a part of nature as we are. Now, those damn dog men, I won't want to mess with them. Now, I've heard those stories, and I'm glad it was a dog man I ran into. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't ever want to witness another dog man again, but that's neither
another.
Yeah.
How many have you seen?
One.
So, I saw one years ago as well, but yeah, but mine was from a far distance.
Oh no, mine was very up close and personal. Don't ever want to experience that again. But
how personal? Were you dating? I mean, is there something?
I'm pretty sure he wanted to take me out on a date. That personal.
Was it like, is that a flashlight in your pocket? You're just happy to see me, personal.
Love you, bro.
Kind of blacked out.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Joe, some people say, when you had your encounter, was there any speaking going on? Was it trying to communicate, or were you guys just having to stare down, looking at each other?
Well, I'm not going to say I'm sitting here and I'm going to say we had a psychic, connection, right? But there was definitely an understanding of who's in charge going on.
Yeah.
It was a nonverbal, I could mess your world up if I chose to. And there's an Abe eating. Really, Abe? You're making me hungry. Come on, man. Wait, eating chicken? So anyhow, there wasn't like a per se a dialogue between us, other than it was definitely known who was in charge at that moment, and it was
Right.
not me.
Oh, absolutely. But there's been times when I've been in the field and I heard wood knocks, and I felt like that big.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can relate to that. I can, yeah.
Yeah. I was
You,
far
you
from in
know who
charge.
has a dominance there.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, he allowed me to live. And really, honestly, if it wanted to do me in, it would have done me in, right?
Well, and historically, if we look back at all the aggressive reports, usually it's us, the humans, that start the crap because they're out of fear. We're shooting at them. Ape Canyon, great example.
Yeah.
Or how about the Ballman and Jessup, the two trappers that Teddy Roosevelt wrote about in his book. They shot at one when it was in front of its lean-to, and the next day, the guy is collecting the beaver traps, and he comes back, and his partner's neck is broken with fang marks and stuff like that.
Yep.
You know,
yep.
and
I
there's
remember reading that.
the stories on Monster Quest where they're shooting at them, and it wipes so many of them out. But yeah, usually it's usually us that initiates all of the.
Well, you know, it's FOFA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
F around and find out. Yeah.
I know, right?
So, sometimes we step too far, and sometimes we need to get our hand slapped to going, hey,
yeah,
remember who's in charge.
And on the other side of the coin is when we are getting too close, they give us very much territorial display as a silverback gorilla or chimpanzees. They start throwing debris. They start shaking trees. They become a little bit more vocal. Sticks, rocks, what have you. You know, clumps of dirt. There's so many different reports saying, oh, we had acorns thrown at us, or we had rocks thrown at us, or we're hearing wood on wood sounds, knocking sounds, and stuff like that. So,
and those are all courtesies, in my opinion, that they're giving us.
Yeah,
because they don't have to do any of that, and they can come up on you and kill you.
It's so cool when they do. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
You mean
I'd rather have that happen?
I was going to say, like,
what? Judging by my own personal experience, they're all stealth. I mean, they might be giant, but man, they are the most nimble creatures you're ever going to see.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard people talking about situations where they just can jog up these super, super steep hills and move through these very, very, very rocky terrains with so much ease. And I mean, they've spent their whole life there. They've adapted to be able to move quickly like that through those types of spaces.
Well, they're born into it. Yeah, I mean, that's their habitat. That's their environment. That's we're definitely at a disadvantage.
Oh yeah, 100%. Now, with you coming from the paranormal into the Bigfoot field, what is your personal opinion on this paranormal-like phenomena that seems to surround or be connected to Bigfoot?
Do I do politically correct, or do I just give it to him straight? That's the question.
Give it to us straight.
It's a bunch of bull, in my opinion. And you can argue with me if you want to, and that's fine. I welcome all theories. I really do. I do not believe that Bigfoot's dropped off by a UFO. I do not believe that it can go into different dimensions and then pop out wherever it wants to. That's just me. You're welcome to your own opinion.
Yep.
That you're welcome to your own opinion. It's okay. Everyone is entitled to be wrong. You can be wrong. Yep. That's fine. But anyhow, that's your opinion. It's wrong. Deal is you can sit there and tell me all about Star Trek Bigfoot all you want. That's fine. But at the end of the day, I know what I saw, and it was blood, it was flesh, and it was fur. I don't know. Did the aliens drop him off 10 miles of the trail before he got to me? I don't know. My opinion is no. I have been right next to deer in the woods and never even knew they were there. And they're stealthy too. I didn't even know they're there till they decided to jump up and run. And they're 3 feet from me. So that being said, you're dealing with a master of stealth. You're dealing with a creature that knows its environment. It knows how to elude you. It knows its craft very well. And as people, to be honest, we're not all that great at observing things. We really are not. I mean, you ask somebody what color that car was, like witness statements, and we can't keep anything straight, right? That we saw, right? And so we're not the greatest at observing because, most of us are looking down our cell phones, or we're doing this or we're doing that. So we're not even self-aware of what's around us usually. And when we take a large group of people, and it's a good time, don't get me wrong, on those walks. It is such an awesome time. But Bigfoot knows you're there. You can't have 20 people walking the woods and they're not going, hey, there might be some in my woods. But it gives people a chance to get their feet wet with this kind of stuff. And that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to get their feet wet into investigating Bigfoot. And that's within a safe confines, right? So they're not going off on their own and doing it. And that's what's great about our night walk is it gives people that opportunity to get their feet wet, see what it's like, to see what it's really all about. But I'm way off on a tangent. Let me get back to where we were.
No, you're not on a tangent, but you're absolutely right. It's a safe platform that we like to provide for people who want to go a little bit more further and have that opportunity to have for the Minnesota Bigfoot Conference.
Yeah, it's a
and they
good
get
time.
to do it with known researchers that they've seen on documentary and TV shows.
You know what? Yeah, I mean, it's something that people can get out and experience for themselves from the safety of the group, the safety of having experienced researchers with them. And that's really, and then they can make up their own minds after that, whether they want to keep researching or not. Most of them do. Most of the people have such a great time, they want to keep doing it. And hey, you know what? More eyes, the better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you either one of you believe in the woo-woo Bigfoot?
I got to speak with Matt Knapp. We did a recording for his podcast, Bigfoot Crossroads, and he asked me the same question, and I'll just say the same thing is I believe that there are some misidentifications, maybe a tulpa taking the appearance of a Bigfoot because the person wants to see a Bigfoot so bad or experience Bigfoot so bad that they're almost creating a thought form that's kind of hijacking this Bigfoot persona. And that's where you get a lot of the extreme paranormal like things like Bigfoot walking through walls and going through their home. And then I do think that there is maybe some paranormal like aspects to Bigfoot that are very scientifically based that we just don't understand yet because we've never had the opportunity to study one of these things. So I think that they may or may not have cloaking abilities, but I don't think it's to the degree that some people just, they disappeared and got swooped up by a UFO. I don't think it's that. And maybe there's a possibility that, they are able to emit an EMF of sorts to create paranoia in a person and disrupt electronic equipment. But we don't understand the science behind it yet.
I've also seen a stump squatch. Right, Abe? Stump squatch, tree branch squatch.
What about the shadow squatch?
Shadow squatch.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's very. I know you probably like Swiss cheese and welcome to Switzerland, but I'm not Switzerland. I'm going to tell you this. It is flesh. It is blood.
Yeah.
I do think it's flesh and blood. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thought form.
I think that that's a different. I think that that's a misidentification of they think that they're seeing Bigfoot and it's not. It's more paranormal.
Yeah, kind of like when people take pictures of stumps and go, look at the Bigfoot in the way back over there. Stuff like that. I get
Yeah.
it. I get it. And hey, I believe that you believe that you saw something.
I think I've dived a lot more into the paranormal, and then I bring that sort of aspect into my Bigfoot research. But I do think that Bigfoot had these weird.
But I think that's a slippery slope, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think that bringing too much, and that's just my opinion. Now you can take it for whatever it is, right? It's hey, my opinion's free and it's worth every penny.
Yeah.
All right. If you can bring too much paranormal into Bigfoot hunt, Bigfoot research, because now we're going off that deep end of spirituality versus creature.
Right. Well, I see a clear differentiation.
But where do we draw that line?
Right. Yes. But I think that paranormal aspect has helped me differentiate between these very heavily paranormal like Bigfoot experiences versus what I think Bigfoot is to be flesh and blood.
I've also heard of Ghost Squatch. A ghost of Bigfoot.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. There we go.
Well, they gotta die, right? So they must have some ghosts.
They gotta die.
Yeah.
True, I guess.
And then I get asked all the time, how come there's no ghost Bigfoots?
Just because you asked. I mean, John Green. Here we go. John Green said it best, is that, and I'm paraphrasing here, but I remember him saying that why add another mystery to another mystery? We're already trying to prove to people outside of the Bigfoot community that, this is real. This is a flesh and blood thing. This is a thing that has been brought down from the Viking explorers to the Native American cultures and clans and nations from who knows how long, that they've had. They used to be brothers with these things, so-called creatures, beings. And I see a lot more harm being done, and how people outside of this Bigfoot community who are full-blown skeptics and non-believers. But when we start going around and say, yeah, there's invisible Bigfoots out in the woods, and they can talk to you without any vocal cords moving their lips, and it's all by your mind, it kind of makes the Bigfoot research look down on it even more, when we already have a whole mountain of things that we're trying to prove, just to say, yeah, but these creatures are real. I say we take it step by step. Take it. Okay, we're going out there and we're walking around. Yeah, they can do this. They can do that. They can do this. There's no proof that they can mind speak. There's no proof they can turn invisible. There's no proof that they can go through a portal, or there's. If we look back at our hominology, is there any kind of hominology that shows us that we can do that as human beings? Or how about known great apes and primates? Are there any of those that can do that?
True.
If there is, somebody please tell me. I would love to know.
Some would say that it kind of dilutes the field of research, like you alluded to, Abe. When you add too many layers into the research, right, and so it gets diluted, and then you get so far afield that it's no longer taken seriously anymore because it's been diluted so much.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have 10 different Bigfoot researchers, you may get 10 different answers. And that's part of the problem too. Is it's just like with ghost hunting, just like paranormal. There's no standards and practices.
Mm-hmm.
There's no benchmark, right? So like when I go on a paranormal investigation, there's no scientific benchmark of a ghost, right? So everybody's a free for all. This is a ghost, that's a ghost, orbs are ghosts, this is a ghost, that's a ghost.
Yeah.
What it's done is diluted the science to the point that it's laughed at.
Yeah.
because you got Jim Bob out there going, I got myself a picture of a ghost, and he shows it off.
And it's a dust orb.
It's a dusty orb, right? I bet your house is very dirty. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. But you got yourself a dust orb. So, but that also risks bleeding over to other fields of research. And that's something that, you don't want to have happen. For years, I have tried to get, the ghost, phenomena taken seriously by science. And I have a lot of friends who are scientists, and they always tell me, I respectfully disagree with you. There's no ghosts because there's just no way. There's just, it breaks every law of physics. Ghosts do.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. Bigfoot doesn't, though. Bigfoot's flesh and blood, so he very much fits into the laws of physics, in the laws of physics.
Yeah.
So, and they do act accordingly, with the square cube law. And because the bigger something is, the more mass it has, the square cube law would dictate that Bigfoot could exist, because they've talked about size that would fit. And now I'm getting way off a field. Now we're getting way into,
I do want to touch on that, though, because I think that comes along with having an open mind and having that blended research background that you and I both do. I think it's important to keep that open mind so that you can go out there and kind of differentiate what this person actually experienced. Was it paranormal? Was it Bigfoot? And being able to kind of place their experience in one bucket or another. And if it fits in the flesh and blood bucket, but it's got this weird sort of aspect to it, well, then what's that? And I think when you start really noting all the very interesting commonalities between, what you would deem a flesh and blood Bigfoot, is where you can start recognizing patterns and seeing the possibility of what they can do.
I agree.
Yeah. I do want to point out, though, that Chad is in the house. So a lot of you might remember him. Chad, former co-host, still a very loved member of the Fold Mysteries. So I just wanted to say hello to him real quick.
Yes, big hats off to Chad. Hope you're feeling well.
Yes. But yeah, I think our blended backgrounds is super beneficial to any field that we research, so we can recognize the difference.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's always good to have a diverse palette.
Oh yes.
And yeah, and I was just telling Gwendolyn, you were there too, is that you always got to keep an open mind. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's out there, flesh and blood, woo, 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 but proper research is keeping an open mind and not closing the door on possibilities, and looking for things that can be repeatedly tested and also get the same results.
That is true, and that is science. It has to be repeated, and again, no matter what we claim or anyone else claims, extraordinary claims always will require extraordinary evidence.
Yeah, and our last week's guest said the exact same thing. Yeah, he actually had me finish that sentence.
But it's still true. It holds true.
Absolutely.
You gotta have it to back it up.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of those other woo-woo claims can't really be tested. It's just it's hard to scientifically test that.
Yeah, and I think, Joel, you're in kind of a good spot where you have created your personal theories, and that helps you kind of not diverge too far away from what you believe the possibility is. So I think that you having that firm belief of flesh and blood is great as far as you being able to differentiate what the person is experiencing. So
yeah. I mean, I also listen to the other side, and I don't, throw disparaging remarks at them. If they want to believe that they're free to do that. Because people look at us going, really, you believe in a big hairy man running around the woods? I mean, really it's a very personal thing too, what people believe, and it's not my place to tear down what they believe or don't believe.
Yeah, you'll never convince them otherwise. I think the great aspect of it though is just being able to take away from their experience what can go into your research or what can't.
I think we should. I think we should let the evidence speak more for itself
Mhm.
than
There it
anything
100%.
is.
else.
There it is.
100%. Give that a round of applause. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And the data, the evidence and the data.
Yeah.
Let's see where it goes. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Right, right.
You know.
Yeah. So you have books that you have written. Are any released yet at this point?
They're all gonna be released in a summer. Let's see, we're coming up on summer. My publisher is Foundations. They are going to be releasing all these. The first book that'll be coming out will be the Bigfoot, the cryptozoology book that I wrote. Second one will be the ultimate research guide. The third one will be my road guide. And then I wrote a fiction piece called The Cold Edge. It's really cool, kind of cool. And it's about Nome, Alaska and the UFO phenomena.
Oh, wow. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah. It's a really, really cool. Really, really cool. So that will, I'm hoping for a fall release on all, the first will be a fall release. And then they're going to follow them up. They don't want to just drop them all at once because that kind of,
Right.
dilutes the sales. So,
Oh, yeah. 100%.
yeah. So that's coming out. So it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of good times.
Where
So
will they
are we
be
going to
released?
are we going to need another table at the Bigfoot Festival? I know we're
thinking
probably going
we
to need another
will.
table at the conference for you.
Yeah. I at the conference and then the festival. I should really start making my rounds, I suppose, with Abe. Right, Abe? That'd be a lot of fun doing a few road trips, wouldn't it?
Let's
That's
do
so
it, man.
cool.
I
Yes.
say let's do it, you and me.
Let's do it.
While we're there, though, we need to stop at a few haunted locations.
Oh, yeah. Hey, do it. Do it.
I'll keep the car running.
It's been a little bit since I've been like the Villisca Axe Murder House. That would be another good one to hit. Stuff like
yes.
that. So no, my road guide, I have 50 different locations I actually visited. So nothing in the
that's very
book isn't something I actually put feet in, right? So everywhere in the book I went.
Oh,
And I
that's
kind
awesome.
of give the dirty on them. I'm like, yeah, it was all right. Nah, didn't live up to the hype. Don't go.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So, but I went to every one of them. It wasn't me on the internet researching. I actually went to every one of them throughout the
That's
years.
awesome.
So, you're getting the guy that was really there, and I could say, yeah, it sucked, or yeah, it was great. I don't pull any punches.
Very
I
cool.
just say it the way it is.
I love that. So where are they going to, do you have a website where people can go to check these out? and buy 'em?
Right now I don't have a website yet. They're going to provide me with one. They're going to build me one.
Oh,
the
nice.
publisher.
Fancy.
And then, of course, as that comes further along, I will be on Coast to Coast AM next month.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
So I'll be speaking about that. So you can hear me there. Hopefully by then I will have a firm release date on when these books you can buy them. So, and as they release, I'll definitely be telling everyone about them. And you can buy one if you so choose to.
Very cool. So just check you out on Facebook and you'll just keep us updated then.
Yeah, you'll know. There'll be signs.
Awesome.
They're coming out.
Speaking of
keep an eye on
Facebook,
it.
there's a group that you started here on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta give a shout out to that.
Oh, geez. Man, it's got to be 15 years ago, 10
Oh,
years
wow.
ago or whatever.
Oh,
It's been a
wow.
long time. I had the Northern Minnesota Paranormal Research Group, and we're like 4,000 strong, 5,000. I don't even know how many anymore. And it started with me and like 3 other people. And so it just kind of grew on its own. Like people just get done. But what's cool about the group is nobody judges each other. We're all very respectful. You
Love
got a
that.
ghost story. If you got a Bigfoot story, you can pop on there, tell it. And no one's going to sit there and go, well, that's stupid. They're all very supportive of each other. So, and that's one thing that I could say about the group, as big as it is. We have a lot of respect for each other, and we care about each other.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. It's like a community. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abe's part of it. He's on there. I'm on there, of course. Hopefully by the end of the night, you'll be on there, So yeah. It's just
I'll be
growing
getting
on
on
its
there.
own.
as soon as I get off here, I'm jumping on there.
Yeah. It's kind of like one of those places, you can ask all the questions you're afraid to ask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, but I wore the shirt tonight on purpose, and then BRT got to represent my boy Abe over there and what we're doing. And,
nobody told me. I have one. Nobody gave me the memo. I could have. I wore my Fold Mystery shirt.
So hopefully,
Yay!
Right. Hopefully tomorrow night or tomorrow, you might be able to stop at the business I own and pop in and say hi, Abe, when you're in there.
Yeah, we might actually be doing lunch tomorrow.
Yes, definitely. We got to do some lunch. But I had a great time, guys. You guys have a great show here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate you coming on, and I'd love to have you on again, and we can kind of focus a little bit on the paranormal stuff, and you can bring some of your EVPs and some stuff you capture. I can share anything, audio, video, pictures.
If you go ahead and give me your contact info, I'll hook you up with some books.
I'll message you after this.
So yeah, we'll hook you up.
She's fangirling you right now. You see that smile she's got?
Abe has Abe, you have every one of my books I've written, don't you? I think you do.
PDF.
Yes, the PDFs of them.
Nice.
So he's seen them unedited, like rough. Like that's what the author was really thinking. Kind of books.
I love it.
Because the editors always smooth it over and and they make it so nice and polished. No, not these. These are, I give it to you both barrels. Nope, that's stupid.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely message you after this. I'm gonna jump on that Facebook page and
join up.
Yeah, and everybody else should too. Yeah, for sure. So thank you for coming on. I appreciate you very much.
It's been a lot of
Joe.
fun. Have to do it again sometime.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
And squatch on.
Squatch on. Love you, brother.
Love you too, man.
That's awesome. All right. We'll see you all next week, possibly. And yeah, thanks for coming, Joel.
Hey, anytime.